welcome to SVG-TV News for Thursday, June 21st, 2018. I am Jennifer Richardson with the details. The cannabis industry bill will soon be enacted. That's the word from Dr. Gerald Thompson at a public lecture at the Methodist Church Hall last night, which looked at the use of marijuana for medical purposes. 3 medical doctors gave a comprehensive overview of cannabis and how it can impact the human body. SVG-TV's Sheron Garraway attended and files this report.
Of being more aware of the curative qualities of the cannabis plant and enacting legislation to make it permissible for use as medicine were among the points highlighted at the Why Medical Marijuana lecture and discussion last night at the Methodist Hall. Physician Dominican-born Dr. Masada James advocated for the use of natural plants and foods and praised the efforts of the Rastafarian community who were persecuted for using the cannabis plant, which is now being sought by many countries.
Been through a lot when it comes to or related to cannabis or marijuana, and we have to acknowledge these people. This group is called the Rastafarians. They have been discriminated against, well, both legally and within the society. But they stood their ground, and what the science is showing is that what these gentlemen were saying, there's a lot of reason to it, and we have to acknowledge these things. Because what they were saying is eat what you grow. Eat as natural as possible. Let your food be your medicine and your medicine be your food.
The trauma surgeon also recommended the use for natural therapeutic remedies and commended those countries that are realizing the potential of cannabis. Feature speaker Dr. Dale Dangleben, who is also from Dominica but resides in the U.S., called for enlightenment.
But to understand where we are in the Caribbean, what we have, and these things are being studied and people are utilizing it and making billions of dollars from it, okay? We can at least get into the game, even if it's from the raw product standpoint. But why can't we have the raw product and process it and then sell the processed product? So getting back to this, this holistic lifestyle, body, mind, and spirit, right? We could talk about spirituality, and then we consume and we eat and we're morbidly obese. It's not balanced. We need balance, and that's important.
Director of Special Projects in the Prime Minister's office, Dr. Gerald Thompson, said the government's move towards medicinal marijuana is progressing, and soon the cannabis industry bill will be taken to Parliament. Dr. Thompson said this will create wealth when this country produces the crop for medicinal purposes.
We are expecting that local citizens can get involved in investment, that suitable investors can be attracted after due diligence to ensure that we are not attracting the wrong type of entities. That the traditional farmer will be encouraged through an associated amnesty bill, which would help to facilitate the traditional farmer to participate in the industry and to build wealth.
Dr. Thompson added that while efforts are being made to eventually legislate for cannabis to be used for religious purposes, it will not be going into the production of cannabis for recreational purposes.
There's expected that there is going to be the associated permit to use cannabis for religious purposes in specific locations of individuals' tabernacles. We are not as yet going in the direction of recreational legalization as Canada has done. Our approach is one of medicinal cannabis and making that available to our people. Now, we know that there's going to be some criticism of that we haven't gone far enough. We should be bold, we should be so forth. But I want persons to understand that we have to do legislation, be a government for all the people. And we're hoping that persons will support that particular measure.
Sheron Garraway, reporting for SVG Television News.
And our news team took the opportunity to get the views of some of the persons who attended last night's lecture on the ongoing discussions surrounding the establishment of a medicinal marijuana industry in SVG.
That it's definitely time for us in St. Vincent and the Grenadines to, align ourselves with that. It could be a very lucrative industry. Having lost our market for bananas and tourism is not really that lucrative right now. I think we need to get on a new wave and explore the options for medicinal marijuana.
In terms of decriminalization, I go for decriminalization instead of legalization. At this point in time, you have to take it in stages. And I embrace the medical marijuana industry into the country. It's a multi-million-dollar business, and almost all the developed countries in the world, they are into the business. And if we wait, the train will pass us.
We as Vincentian and Caribbean people have our own foods and we don't grow them. We just only leave them for swell and so. And the state is who growing them and fooling we. And we need to build up and legalize marijuana.
The fact that St. Vincent and the Grenadines is a producer over the years, and we have built a brand. I think once the discussion with medical, recreational marijuana come up, we should be involved in the discussion.
They spoke about like health benefits and stuff. I basically already knew that, so it was refreshing to hear it from professionals in the medical field. But yeah, I'm excited for this new chapter for St. Vincent. I think it'll do very good things, and I'm excited.
Support the use of marijuana for medicational use and religious practice. But I am very considerate, very circumspect in using the marijuana as recreation, based on the fact that at a time, alcohol was illegal in man history. They actually make it legal in a way, and for mass consumption, for recreation. And I don't appreciate how a lot of people, how we had the society. So based on that experience, I am I will not a strong advocate, I will not advocate using marijuana for recreation.
The case of suspended Antigua and Barbuda Police Commissioner Vincentian Wendell Robinson has been pushed back to July 20th. The Antigua Observer said at a hearing yesterday before Justice Godfrey Smith in the High Court, more time was given as requested for the officer to file additional affidavits to support his challenge of his suspension. The respondents were also given time to add to their submissions where necessary. Robinson was suspended on April 5, 2018, following allegations of sexual harassment of junior police ranks and a civilian who was seeking entry into the police force. The incidents are said to have occurred between 2016 and 2018. Robinson, who is originally from the Kettles community, is challenging the suspension, which he says is unlawful. The Police Service Commission was responsible for setting up a committee to look into the matters, but since suspending Robinson, this has not been done. The Commission said it acted lawfully when it removed Robinson from his post pending the outcome of the probe. A corporal in the Royal St. Vincent and the Grenadines Police Force is encouraging the public to be vigilant to protect themselves and their property during the carnival season. Corporal Cian Shoy told SVG-TV News that pickpocketing is a matter of concern, especially during the carnival season, and he gives some pointers how persons can avert these and other threats.
Just showing you that's one certain amount, we advise you to walk with that amount. Don't be discreet when you're handling your cash this time around. There are a lot of pickpockets around. We advise you to avoid large crowds when you walk in. True person will bump on you and cause you to feel that it's normal, but when you look, your wallets is gone. And we advise you to always walk with your wallet in your front pocket. As male and the female, make sure you hold your purse close and make well sealed under your arm. So we advise you that you have to be vigilant this time of the year, and we are zero tolerance against crime and violence this carnival season. And the Commissioner, everything is in place as it relates to that this carnival season.
Shaw said because vendors are the main target for persons using counterfeit currency, they should grasp the opportunity and visit the police annual crime prevention exhibition next Friday at the police headquarters.
This time around, we are always focusing on counterfeit currency, and we have our specialists, A.S.T. Ballantyne, a gazetted person that deal with counterfeit currency, and the various booths and stores will be on display. That person, especially the vendors, we want to appeal to them to come and detect the features to look forward to in the counterfeit notes this time around. And it's evident that this time around, a lot of counterfeit currency has been circulating, especially in $20 notes and $50 and $100 notes. So we always advise them to look out for the features this time around.
The police corporal said the exhibition is open to the public and will cover a range of issues.
We advocate again and advising everyone, come out, support the crime prevention unit of the Royal St. Vincent and Grenadines Police Force next Friday, the 29th of June, 9 a.m. outside the Central Police Station, that you will get all the tips you need from personal, internet, and home safety to make you be more equipped and aware and very sensitive issues that are happening now. And we want to speak about domestic violence, child abuse. All these will be addressed, and there will be brochures, flyers, bookmarks to be issued on that day, and person can pass by and just collect those brochures on the way through Kingston on that Friday.
Minister of Agriculture and Fisheries, Saboto Caesar, has said he envisions a thriving turtle watching industry in SVG. Caesar, who was speaking at a ceremony on Tuesday held to compensate fisherfolk who suffered loss because of the ban on turtles, said existing tourism infrastructure and improvements to be done point towards lucrative opportunities in turtle watching.
International airport and the opening of opportunities, persons coming into the country, with more hotels going on the leeward side of the country and in the Grenadines and on the windward side, and you have a lot of guests here wanting things to do. I envisage that in the not too distant future, that turtle watching becomes something very lucrative, and there are persons who could make a lot of money from this.
Minister Caesar gave an example of how one business operator has been able to benefit from this enterprise.
He said, a snow day like today, I will do about 5 runs on a snow day. So that is $400 an hour by 5 runs. That is $2,000 US he will make on a slow day. So I say, on a good day, how much you make? He said, well, you should see some money. Like they're checking up something, man. He said, the tax man after me. I said, no. He said, on a good day, what I could do, I could shorten the runs, and I could double up to make 10. That could take him up to $4,000 US in one day.
A group of Calypso lovers who go by the name the Calypso Grudges will tomorrow be paying tribute to a stalwart in the field of education. Randolph Pincham George, a member of the group, said that Miss Rosalind Peters, principal of the Petersville Primary School, has made tremendous contributions to the education of the youth, which his group wants to recognize. Tomorrow, the Calypso Grudges will present Miss Peters with a plaque at the school's graduation ceremony.
Ms. Rosalind Peters take it upon her head and continue with this educational system. And there's a lot of lawyers and doctors come out from her school. And we find it fit as the Calypso Grudges to go and meet Miss Peters and honor her by giving her a plaque, because this is a very, very good idea of a woman. She never get fed up. She always loved children. And for a woman who loves children, she have the right thing doing, teaching people and teaching the right things of the children.
Meanwhile, Jeffery Snuffy Martin, director of the Calypso Grudges, said it is important to honor those who have made a positive impact on the community while they are alive.
We don't look forward, we don't correct the ills of the society. But sometimes I don't want you to honor Snuffy when he's dead. This is now. And I always say that, and I always say it again. So many people in society have been forgotten, and only when you're dead, I remember. I don't want that. Other people know, and let them live on and enjoy life.
Welcome to Carnival Beat. Minister of Tourism, Sports and Culture, Cecil Mackey, has expressed confidence that there will be an increase in tourist arrivals during the 2018 Carnival season. Delivering remarks this week at a CDC media conference, Minister Mackey therefore challenged the CDC and all Vinci Mass components to put in their best efforts to enhance the overall product. He said that their contribution will help generate more interest in the summer festival among patrons, whether they are visitors or returning nationals.
At the months of June and July, we would see that visitors to the destination would be just over 10,000, between 10,000 and 15,000. In 2017, for the year, we saw an increase of 11% in terms of our arrivals by air. And we want to say that the festivals play a very important part of in terms of the increase in those numbers. For the first quarter of this year, we are very encouraged by the arrivals, also both by air and by sea. And I think everyone would have heard and would have agreed that our 2017-18 tourism season was a bumper one, the best ever. And the numbers reflected that. So as persons come more and more to our shows, the CDC and all components, you would now be expected to lift your game as we provide activity for these persons as they come to the shows.
Minister Mackey spoke of a number of flight arrangements that will facilitate arrivals to the state.
It's coming from Toronto. We have direct flights from New York. Recently announced direct flights from Miami and working on the UK. And we have seen one of the local operators. They now have flights to St. Martin, Tortola, and will soon add Puerto Rico to their list of countries that they provide flights to. It means, therefore, that we can expect that the arrivals to the destination will continue to grow and the opportunities will be there. You heard from the chairman that we now have Caribbean Airlines as one of our partners in terms of sponsors for Vinci Mass. So this will provide opportunities for the CDC and other local operators to have these airlines and the persons from these other countries involved in Vinci Mass and our other festivals as well.
While traditional mass may be fading as an aspect of mass, President of the Carnival Bands Association, the CBA, Urage, is confident that local mass bands will maintain an excellent quality in the creative and party mass designs. At a CDC media briefing on Tuesday, Urage said he hopes to see the re-emergence of the traditional mass designs through the work of the 17 mass bands registered with the CBA.
There is the traditional, which we have to do some work to rebuild. We have the creative, and within recent times, we have had the party bands coming on stream. It is our fervent wish and our hope that we're able to rebuild that traditional category so as to have it back in our Mardi Gras presentations in future years to come. 15 will be presenting presentations for Carnival 2018. 14 of these are competitive presentations, while there is one non-competitive band, the Oxygen Mass Band, who will be making their second presentation this year.
As the CBA rolls out a 3-year development plan, Raggy said the recently held 2018 Secondary Schools Costume Art Design Competition will help to enhance the overall mass product.
Great floats, we had those, and we were just as good as Brazil. But somehow we forgot what we used to do, what we used to present at Mardi Gras. But Brazil didn't. Continue to work with our young people. We're going to hold annual design competitions. We are going to have our students make miniatures of their designs as we try to ensure the survival of the masquerade.
The CBA president promised carnival lovers a more organized mass showcase for Vincy Mass 2018 and beyond.
Aware that in recent times there have been a memorandum of understanding signed between the government of St. Vincent and the Grenadines and the Republic of Brazil. We know that Brazil could assist us in the process of rebuilding what is traditional. Try and improve our timekeeping on Carnival Tuesday. We could only try. We'll do our best. I invite everyone to take a second look at the masquerade component and to grant us your cooperation at all events.
After a successful launch last Friday, June 15th, the Beckway Carnival Committee is promising patrons an experience like none other as they prepare for the culmination of their carnival activities this weekend. Headed by a former Miss SVG contestant, Dorcel John, the new committee is aiming to reintroduce and enhance a number of attractions in the 2018 festivities. John told SVG-TV today that she is confident her team will produce an exceptional package.
Keeping Carnival alive and bringing back all things that we have seen that have easily disappeared on Becklin is Kiddies Carnival, which would be hosted on Saturday at 2 p.m. from the Almond Tree to Hamilton. And for our group, we're also doing an all-mass where a person can showcase their creativity. Event starts tomorrow with the Miss Beckway pageant, And then on Saturday we have Kiddies Carnival. And Saturday night we have our wet fest, which is called Drenched. On Sunday we're collaborating with Jack's Beach Bar, and we're having a beach party there starting from 10 until 5. We give you a little rest time. Then we'll go to rush hour where we have just a juvenile warm-up. Then we hit the road from 4 until 8 in the morning. And on Monday afternoon, we start the street jump-up at 2 from the Almond Tree.
As the committee completes preparations for tomorrow's grand kickoff, John encouraged persons to not miss out on the weekend's action.
To all the sponsors who have supported us in that way. But in terms of the people on Beckway, yes, 110% support, I can tell you that. Have some time to still hit the beach, get your little tan and your little sand between the toes, but it is definitely a packed weekend for myself and my team, as well as the beauty show committee that we have just started this year that has you know, their hands pretty full in executing a really good show tomorrow. Other persons in the Grenadines, whether you're in Mustique, Union, Canouan, but mainly the persons on St. Vincent, catch the ferry. You're not going to be disappointed in any of our activities. We're neighbors. We're just an hour away, so please come out, come to Beckwith, support us. We're a new committee. You're going to miss out on a lot of things, especially Drench. I am pretty excited for Drench, which is our wet fest. So don't miss that for nothing.
All right.